Okay, I'm gonna make a part 2 or remake this video. I decided to read the parable of the 10 virgins verbatim. That way you can get a better understanding. Matthew chapter 25, verses 1 through, we'll just start with chapter 25. Okay, listen. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be like unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, but they took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried or delayed, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom comes. Go out to meet him. Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, No, lest there not be enough for you and us. But go rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily, truly, I say unto you, I don't know you. And then he says, Watch therefore, for you know not neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes. Then I will get to that second parable next. Now listen, half of the virgins were wise. The foolish ones took their own they all had lamps. And their lamps had a measure of oil in them already. You know, when you buy a lamp, sometimes they give you a little bit of oil in it. But the wise ones went early to those that sold oil. Those are the branches, the remnant, the ones who in the next parable, in fact, let's read the next parable, okay? Because it's key for your understanding. And then Yahushua goes on to say, For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. That's him. And he called his own servants and delivered unto him his goods. That's the oil. And unto one he gave 5 talents or measure, another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his ability. And straightway he took his journey. I mean, he immediately left. Those he gave his talents to are the remnant of the elect. Those are all men, and they're all Hebrew Israelite men. Okay, and we know that when he come back, he required of those that he gave those gifts to see how much they gained from it. So when the virgin said, Go to those that sell, those are the ones whom the Son of Man left certain amounts of talents to. The scriptures say, Buy the truth and sell it not. So half of the virgins was wise enough. The vessel is the heart. The oil is the truth. You burn that oil in order to give light to see. Without light, you can't see. But that light comes from the oil, which is the understanding of the prophecies and the prophetic times, which only the branches know. Why? Because the Son of Man left gifts unto them. And he said, Maintain till I come. So listen what happened. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And what happens when you sleep? You turn your lamp down. Okay, a trim is a little knob on the lamp. It's called a trim. When it's up, it burns brightly. And when you go to sleep, you turn it down to where it's just a little flame burning. It's still lit, but it's like dim, so that if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can see enough to do what you want to do. I'm fortunate enough to grow up around oil lamps, and I still have some. So let's listen to what happened. At midnight, the middle of the night, when you least expect it, a cry came out. Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go out and meet him. All of them woke up. And when you wake up, the first thing you do is you go to your lamp and you turn that knob and it pushes the wick up and the light burns light. But the foolish ones, the oil ran out in their lamp. That oil was their own understanding. They leaned to their own understanding. And it wasn't enough. When they woke up, it was dark. They heard the cry, just like the wise ones. But their lamps went out and they didn't know where to go. Okay? But the wise ones had enough light in their lamps because they filled it back up with that which they bought early from the branches. Okay? And they were wise enough to say, no, we ain't got enough for you and us. We only got enough for us. But they told them where to get it. So they were given grace. The foolish ones didn't, because as the scriptures say, seek me early and you will find me. By the time they went to the branches had some more oil, but it was too late for them. When they get in, the door was shut. And they said, Master, Master, open us. They said, I don't know you. Now, why did he say, I don't know you? He says, my sheep hear my voice. He speaks through his branches. The true baptism has nothing to do with water. It's that gift that he left his own servants. And the true baptism is the teaching of the Father's name. It begins with Yahuwah, the Father's name, the true name, and the Son's true name, which is a continuation of Yahuwah. But you add Shua at the end of it, which is Yahuwah Shua. Remember, the Son said, I will not speak to you much hereafter, because after me comes the wicked one, and he has nothing in me. That's Christianity and the false name of Jesus. That's the mark of the beast, because in Greek, Jesus adds up to 666. It's a false name. It points to a false image, which is a white man. It's the image of the beast, or our enemies, which are white, the tares, European colonialists, who throughout the ages went through the earth under the guise of Christianity, killed, stealed, and destroyed, and colonized. They raped and did heinous things to almost every nation under the earth. Those are the 4 horsemen also. It just told you the order. The first horse was white, its rider was white, and a bow was given to him to go out and conquer. That's the first horse. That's who the rider is, white Europeans. All the other horses are a result of that horse going throughout the lands of the earth, the tribes of Africa, Australia, and colonizing. After the white horse came, what followed? War, famine, and death. Okay? That's the mystery of that. And getting back to it, that's also the mark of the beast that you receive as your head. When I see women say when they say Jesus is Lord, Lord means Baal. That means you take that false name as your headship. And in your right hand, because the true Son of Man's symbolic name is Yah, which literally means right hand. So that means you taking that false name as the right hand of the Most High, and your right hand, because a man's right hand is his power. That's the key of David and the mystery of it. And the right hand's true name is Yahuwah Shua, has 5 utterances to it. I've taught on that many times. So, and it's also likened to the new wine. Yahuwah Shua, the first recorded miracle, because he did more miracles than prior to that. The first recorded miracle, what did he do? He changed water into wine. And he gave it to the master of the ceremony, and he tasted it first. He's like, wow, this wine better. Most of them serve it first. But then he gave it to his servants, and they served the guests. Now, truly, there was many of those who had gotten drunk already off of the old wine. And what does a drunkard do? When you taste new wine, you don't care. You can't even appreciate it. You're laying down there asleep because you're drunk. That's those of you who go lean to your own understanding. You're full of that old Christianity. They couldn't appreciate it, but some of those that's why it says new wine must go into new vessels, new wineskins. But those are those who didn't partake too much of the Christian church, so to speak. They tasted it and they knew it was new and they received it. See, all the things fit together seamlessly. The new wine is being served now by his own servants, those that buy and sell. You need to get that new wine now and put it in your vessel, because that's what you're going to need to be able to see with. Those who know the prophecies, who see and understand the signs of the time, who can call out the little horn, can call out Satan's children, and teach you, which is to baptize you in the Father's true name, which is Yahuwah, and the Son's true name, which is Yahuwah Shua, and by the power of the Ruach. Remember, the Son of Man said, I have a baptism to give. And he said, how will I be straightened unless it's already kindled in the earth? That's the baptism of fire. The truth is going to offend many, but it's necessary. So that's the meaning of the parable, the true meaning of it. When you trim your lamp, their lamps had went out because they had leaned to their own understanding, that old wine and that old false name. It didn't give them enough light to see. But those that sought early and had vessels, they filled up their lamp again. And when they woke up, they turned the wick up and it shined bright, and they was able to see in the darkness and find their way to the Son of Man. That is the meaning behind that. You have to get baptized and taught early. You have to seek his branches, the remnant, before it's too late. We're almost at the midnight hour. That's why it says, he that seek me early shall find me. And that's the true meaning of that parable. And the door was shut. They came too late and they asked him to open up, and he said, I don't know you. And also it says in Revelations, that's the first resurrection, because it said these are virgins that are not defiled by women. What does that mean? It don't mean sexually women. It literally means the whore that you see in Revelations 18:7, the Roman Catholic Church that blasphemed. It said they was not defiled. What comes by that Christianity? It comes that false name. Those that were not defiled by him, they followed the Lamb everywhere he goes. That's the first resurrection this is talking about. Just like in Ezekiel chapter 9. He told the man with the inkhorn to go set a mark on the forehead of all those that lament and weep at the abominations in the midst of the city. Those were the righteous. And then the ones with their weapons of destruction, he said, go kill the ones that don't have that mark. See, Yahuwah has a mark and Satan has a mark, the enemy. Yahuwah's mark is his name. That's the secret place. It says that he that abides in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under his protection. That is his name. Because in Joel it says, and it shall come to pass that all who calls upon the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. That is the true baptism. And the Son's name is a continuation of Yahuwah, Yahuwah Shua. So receive that now. That's the true baptism. Has nothing to do with dunking nobody in the water and teaching them by that false name, which is the mark of the beast. So with that is the meaning of that parable. Hope you got your oil. Peace be with you. Shalom.